How's it going, guys? It's Dylan with Mesa Fitness here, and we're back for another special edition 12-week challenge video of GymTalk. Today we're talking about burnout, and I've got a group of ladies here from Group Fitness with me that are going to help talk about that. Now, at the beginning of the year, we see a pretty good influx of folks come through the door. They're working on New Year's challenges, they're working on bettering themselves, but unfortunately, we see a lot of those people tend to filter out by the end of February and into March. Now, there's a lot of reasons why that could be. Their schedules could change, life could change in general, but burnout is a big factor of that. So today we want to talk about what burnout is, how it affects us here in the fitness world, and kind of how we can curb it or even prevent it altogether. Okay. So today with me, I've got 4 of our group fitness instructors. We're going to touch on exactly what it is, what the signs of it are, so you can kind of see it in yourself. And then how to prevent it, okay? So first we're gonna start at the very end. We've got Larissa Gould. Larissa is a mom of three teenagers.
That's an important concept.
Yes. She loves the outdoors and is an avid gardener and hiker. And one of her daily goals is to laugh every day. It's a good goal to have. She's been a group instructor for the last 9 years, and the last 7 of those she's been here at Mesa Fitness teaching programs like Zumba and Zumba Gold. Larissa, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you.
Next we have Kathleen Risky. She's also a mom of 3. She's a small business owner with her husband. She's also a social media marketer for Soul Body, which is one of the programs she teaches here at Soul Body Bar. She's been an instructor here for 6 years, teaching programs like Body Pump, Body Flow, and Soul Body Bar. Thank you, Kathleen. Next I have JANAE Stewart. She's a wife and mom of 3 as well. She's the CEO of the Stewart family. And she's been a part of the fitness world for the last 18 years, both as a group fitness instructor and a personal trainer, so she's got a lot of experience here in the gym. For the last 5 years, she's been a part of the Mesa Fitness team, teaching programs like Sprint, Grit Strength, Cardio Sculpt, and Bar. JANAE, thanks for joining us today, too. Finally, we have Trey Tripoli. She is the group fitness director here at Mesa Fitness Grand Junction. She's a mom of 2, one in college and one in high school, right? So she's also got her hands full. All 4 of them have their hands full. She's an avid adventurer and has produced some of the all-time greatest Halloween costumes here at the gym.
True.
She's been an instructor for the last 18 years, and the last 15 of those she's been here at Mesa Fitness. So she's been with us since day 1, right? Yeah. So she is our longest tenured employee, which is fantastic. She's been through a lot here at the gym. You can currently find her in programs like Body Pump, Sprint, and Body Combat, but she has taken training for almost every program we have here at the gym. As I mentioned, she's the group fitness director here at Mesa Fitness Grand Junction, and she's also a national trainer and presenter for Les Mills. Trey, thanks for joining us today. Okay, so let's get right into it. Tell me a little bit more about what burnout is and how it affects people in the gym.
Well, I think it's really important to define what burnout even means. And if we look at just the straight definition of it, it means to become exhausted due to overuse or overworking. Certainly with the pandemic and everything, we've talked a lot about burnout in different areas of our lives, be it work, our relationships, our responsibilities. As far as exercise goes, it usually is the result of being overtrained and not getting sufficient rest and recovery.
Anybody want to add anything else to that?
It's pretty brilliant.
And done. Oh, no.
Obviously, she's the one that brought the notes today.
I'm a nerd.
I think
I love my notes.
I think burnout can also come from not necessarily like your body's feeling tired, but you're just kind of tired of doing the same thing. Like you get into the routine of the same classes on the same days in the same week, and you just burn out of that particular routine.
I think that's a big part of it too. A lot of people who tend to come into the gym at the beginning of the year and they haven't been in a while, they're doing what they're familiar with. So whether that's a workout that they were doing last year when they came in, or something that they were familiar with in their previous gym experiences, they're coming in and doing a lot of the same stuff. They're hitting the same weights, same routines, they're going to the same classes that they're used to, and that, to JANAE's point, that can create a lot of almost boredom. in the sense that your body isn't being challenged. So I think that's also a portion of where the burnout can come from. Is there anything, JANAE kind of alluded to it on like doing a lot of the same things. Is there anything else in the gym that you can see on a regular basis that could cause somebody to burn out?
Absolutely. Overtraining, just not finding variety in their workout or pushing the intensity too much every single day.
And I think this is a pretty obvious answer, but how can you prevent something like that?
Set up a schedule based on the goals that you have. So it's really important to, whenever you're building your schedule, incorporate strength training, cardio training, and flexibility, as well as rest in between, without trying to hit back-to-back classes or back-to-back strength training on the same day. Allow your body the chance to adapt to the work that you put in so that you can truly achieve results.
I like that. I think that's a big one, especially for folks coming in for the first time in a long time, is they think they need to get right back into it. Maybe in high school or college, they were 5 or 6 days a week, come back into the gym and they try to do the same thing. They try to just get right back on the horse, and a lot of times that can lead to injury, it can lead to burnout. It can lead to some pretty serious setbacks, especially with big injuries. So I think, to that point of having a schedule, maybe starting slower, things like that can really help you advance as you come back into the gym. What are some of the biggest signs that you see in terms of burnout here in the gym?
They'll just tell you. Say, I really don't want to be here. I'm really tired. Just keywords, or I'm feeling burned out. They're pretty upfront usually. Or didn't get enough sleep last night, or the kids, or whatever. I find people pretty upfront about it. And then I ask why. What's driving that? Not enough sleep? Taking too many classes back to back, or what?
Or they'll mention things like, I did this class and I really didn't feel like I did my best. Or, I was really wanting to go, like, example, up in weight and body pump, but I just couldn't do it, and feeling that decrease in their performance overall. That's a really good indicator that, your body is saying, okay, we need more rest. We need to really change things up. We're adapting, and you just don't physically have the energy to do it.
Chronic injuries too. Well, people come up and say, I've just had this thing that I just can't seem to heal. It's been bugging me forever. And I'm like, when was the last time you actually took time off? Yeah, chronic injury for myself included. I know if I'm not getting enough rest, burnout looks like injury.
I think what Larissa said about kind of the plateauing too, I think, people might, they're not seeing results or not getting the benefit that they want, but it could just be because they're doing so much that their body's just so used to this when they really need to add variety, so their body goes, oh, and then they actually might see some different results from those different workouts.
And also other basic day-to-day signs. If you're not sleeping properly, if you've had a loss of appetite all of a sudden, those can be signs that, hey, your body's trying to send you a signal that we're doing something either too much and we need to take it back a step. No matter what group fitness class, we always talk about taking modifications, and no shame in modifications, because that is our body's signal that something is not right and we need to pay attention to it and respect it. So if we are starting to experience those signs of burnout, just taking that step back and say, okay, where are my deficits? Where am I noticing changes that aren't what are working toward my goals? And then you're able to move past and move forward in a healthier aspect.
It's interesting you mentioned about eating. If you suddenly have a loss of appetite, I'd almost say the opposite. If you start craving a lot of things, that could be like if you've been in a calorie deficit for so long and you've been pushing your body so hard for so long, and then you start craving things. It's another sign.
Yeah.
Like maybe you need more, or just taking that step back to refuel. So.
Just motivation and lack of joy is a huge sign. Feeling tired all the time, just not wanting to come into the gym is your body's red flag, for sure.
Yeah, I think, go ahead.
Well, I think with group fitness, we get kind of addicted to the social aspect too, and like we want to see the people and we want to kind of be a part of it because it is such a camaraderie. But I think just what she said, that's for me personally. When I want that, but I feel in my heart like a slight sense of dread, or like I'm not as joyful or excited to go to a class or teach or whatever it is, then I think that can be a signal of, maybe I need to pull back.
I think there was a lot of good points in that question that I kind of want to key in on. All four of them said something that was great. Let's start with modifications and not shaming those modifications. I think the group fitness team does a great job of showcasing a lot of those modifications within the class. Obviously if you're out on the floor lifting weights, that's what I'm used to. If you're out there, make modifications to your workout. If you're in here, don't take shame in modifying what you're doing. To cater to your body. To their point, if your body doesn't feel the weight that you did last week, tone it back a little bit. Maybe you need that step back to go the 2 steps forward that you want to go. Maybe if somebody can elaborate on like how those modifications work and how you can kind of play that in.
I had a gal just last week. She takes my body pump class at least once a week, and then she showed up to my body flow class just randomly. And she told me, she said, I wanted to go to body pump but wasn't feeling up to it, so I came to body flow, which is it's a different focus. It's more mindful, less weight focus. And she said that was the best thing. She didn't know how it would feel, but just trying something less intense, strenuous maybe.
But still being able to get your body moving.
Yeah. Like different classes have different focuses, different goals too. So maybe just trying, not only modifying within a certain class, but maybe trying something else.
Absolutely.
Every class that we offer, we give guidance as far as a high alternative or a more low impact alternative, although sometimes as a participant we have this feeling like if we don't take the highest of the highs, we're not enough. So just understanding that maybe set yourself up for success by even walking in the doors, having a conversation with the instructor and just saying, hey, I'm not feeling 100% today, can you give me some guidance? Then we can make direct eye contact, make sure that we give you alternatives that will make you feel really successful. And then you've already set yourself up for success by not getting in your head about feeling like you have to push your hardest or push yourself outside of your comfort zone when you know it's probably best for your body to pull back.
And you'll start to see a lot of those signs pretty early on. I mean, you could walk through the door and be feeling that already. And I think to Trey's point, having that conversation with the instructor. I mean, these guys are on your team. They're a part of the Mesa Fitness team, but they're on your team to try and one, get you to the end of the workout and get you to your goals, but two, to make it the best for you. And that's what's so cool about getting to watch a lot of these classes is that they make these modifications and they'll help guide each individual in the class. You have to be willing to say something to them to give them that opportunity to help.
And same goes with the conversation with your trainer. If you just keep that dialogue going, they're so educated and they can cater your workout to fit the needs that you have. So you're still on track with your goals.
And I think it's important for members to understand that we as instructors feel those same feelings sometimes too. Just knowing that, whatever they're going through, maybe one of us has gone through that, just gives you that sense of confidence that, okay, this is something I can deal with and face head on and move past. It'll be okay. And we're there 100% of the way. So.
I don't know a single human being who hasn't felt burnout. I think whenever we set big goals, we go super overzealous. Often trying to achieve those goals. And so most of the time we kind of go hard until we have to pull back because either our bodies give us indications that we need to. But if you're a human being, most likely this will happen to you. So just recognize the signs to know that that's normal. And you don't have to be 100% all or nothing and quit, but just to pace yourself in a way that will set you up for success.
I can't remember who it was, but somebody mentioned, almost having excuses, like I'm too tired, the kids kept me up last night, I haven't been sleeping enough. And doing research for this video, I found that making excuses can be one of those things. One of those signs that you are exhausted, that you're tired, that you're hitting that point of burnout. Talk a little bit about some of those signs that you guys see more often here, and maybe how you guys have experienced those too.
Like injuries.
Yeah, I'd say even just minor injuries and people just working through them.
There's a time to push through,
yeah,
and there's a time to respect and back off.
And you might be tired from children and life, and I mean that's definitely valid. But you might still need to use workout time just maybe to physically rest. Even though we say make you feel better, so that is kind of hard sometimes. People come and work out and make you feel better, but just truly knowing your body and do you really physically need to rest.
I think there's a real fine line. So I think it's really smart to get guidance from a professional, either a trainer or an instructor on our team, to ask for advice between having excuses because you just don't want to come and then feeling burnt out. So if you talk with a professional, then you'll be able to set up a plan that will enable you to really be successful and not overtrain. So then it's not a motivation issue, but it's more an issue of, I know this is safe, so I can attack it and focus more on my discipline. But if you come in not really knowing what to do and overtrain right out of the gate, then yeah, you're gonna hit a burnout wall really fast. But if you set up a routine that's achievable, safe and effective, then you need to manage those thoughts and excuses based from a place of motivation.
I was gonna say too, like knowing the difference between lack of motivation, which can be like it can wane and wax throughout the week. Like, did you just push too hard the day before, or is it an overarching like feeling that has lasted longer than just a few days or a week? And I think maybe paying attention to that. I don't know if there's any. That's why I say injuries, because I think that is the body's way. Like I think the mind can trick us sometimes, and we can find the motivation or something to look forward to, but injuries, like if you've got something chronic, I feel like that speaks pretty loudly. Something that I see, and I'm thinking one in particular where I recently told her, I asked her, when was the last time you had some significant time off? Because you're here a lot, and she's got some stuff that just, and as we get older, things do pop up. But like knowing, is this just, bad day, or is this like legitimately my body saying we need to pull back? Or even that like emotional feeling, like not wanting to come for a long time. Or I know for me personally, in the winter time, I struggle more just with that seasonal joylessness, like not looking forward to stuff. But yeah, that's just bigger.
It's good to note that people need to realize if they take a class off or like a week off, it doesn't mean like your group fitness or your exercise routine is never going to happen again. Even just taking a few classes off and coming back the next week, you'll feel so refreshed and motivated, and it's like a whole new feeling.
Or trying something different again. Like
Don't think time off has to be a month or two. Sometimes it just takes a few days.
I think that's a really cool part of like having a plan too, whether it's from a personal trainer or just making your own plan, or having a plan with what classes you want to take, is you can build in rest days to make sure that you don't hit that burnout point. All right, So we've talked a lot about, you know, things that we can do to recognize burnout, what we can do to really identify it. And we've talked a little bit about some of the things that you guys see or adjustments that we can make to prevent it. Talk a little bit about some of the big things that you guys see and how to prevent burnout itself.
I think we had talked about changing things up on a regular basis. And that can be a real game changer, because if you get into the monotony of going to the same classes, the same time, day in and day out, one, your body's going to adjust, and then you're going to get bored. So changing things up, you know, whether it's going for a walk or trying a new class, maybe you decide to start working out with a personal trainer. That can all be beneficial.
Since we talked about injuries.
Yes.
Yeah, injuries, because life is cyclical, right? We're going to have those ups and downs, times, days, weeks, whatever, but I think injuries really speak to like the bigger problem. Like it's not just a day of lack of motivation, it's something's nagging you, and it hasn't gotten better. That would be a big sign for me, and I've experienced that personally. And just keeping the big picture in mind, like it's okay to take some time off from whatever you're doing, because you want to be in this for the long haul. So if you got an injury, it's okay to take some time.
I think Marisa touched on it, but just maybe training for an event, or it's actually kind of cool to see how your classes or your workouts in the gym really benefit doing something outside of the gym. So yeah, maybe finding something you've never done that you always wanted to do, like training for a 5K or something like that.
I think it's important to come at your plan from a holistic view of health. So taking a look at how you're fueling your body. Are you giving your body nutritious food that will give you energy and sustained energy? I think it's important to create balance to where you have a routine that focuses on strength, flexibility, and cardio. But I almost said fart.
That's going with it. That has to go with it.
Oh, we're gonna get the bloopers.
Yeah.
Yes. We're doing your farts at Mesa Fitness.
That's not what I meant.
It's all that nutrition. We got tight tater and
It's all
cardio.
great.
I love
It's all
it.
great. It's the nutrition.
All that fiber.
Yeah, greens. But well-balanced workout that includes rest will definitely aid in prevention, and just finding things that you really enjoy doing. You're going to be addicted to coming to the gym if you find joy here. So try new things that you like. And try and establish connections with people, whether it's meeting people in a group exercise class, getting outside of your comfort zone and introducing yourself to someone, or on the weight room floor as well, just to develop a relationship that will definitely make you want to come back to foster those relationships.
I think the relationships are a really big portion of your gym life. I mean, obviously we make connections because we're here all the time. But if you're only in the gym for about an hour, make a connection with somebody that you see every time you're here. Maybe you're here, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and you see a group of 5 people that are here Monday, Wednesday, Friday at the same time. Make a connection with one of them this week, and just introduce yourself. Hey, I just see you here all the time. Maybe we can work in a set together at some point. Just having that kind of connection, then next time you come in and you see them, you've got somebody to talk to. Especially if you're going to a new gym now, or you move towns and find a new place. But especially if you're in a hometown gym. I mean, I've been at this gym since 2008, back when I was in high school, and I see a lot of the same faces now that I did then. And it's awesome to kind of see that growth of everybody around you. So make a connection, to Trey's point, and that can really help push your journey. I kind of want to go into any last parting thoughts. Do you have any one thing to focus on going one thing for somebody to think about?
Just know that burnout does happen. It happens to us as instructors, it happens to our participants, but that it's not the end of the world. It's a sign that you need to respect that things are not where they should be, and it's okay, you can move past it. Just keeping those goals in mind and knowing that you don't have to do it all the time.
And to follow that, I'll say, just remember the old adage, you're in it as a marathon, not a sprint. And keep the big picture in mind. There's a concept in the trainer world too that I wanted to mention. It's called periodization. It's the idea that you push really hard toward a goal for a period of time and then you back off and take some rest. And that cyclical pattern, I think we tend to just think that I'm starting out, there's this goal that I have to reach, and that's all the be all end all. But if you can just know that you're in it for longer, even if you reach the goal, that longevity and long term is what I recommend shooting for.
3, hit different goals. Hit a goal, find a new goal and find a new class or a new workout to get to that.
Just balance is the key to health. Try not to let that pendulum swing too far in any direction. Just try and stay in a place where you're setting goals that are achievable, manageable, and don't create more chaos in your life, but bring peace and happiness.
That's a good one, and I'm gonna end it on that one. Ladies, thank you guys for joining me today. There's a lot of experience in this room, and a lot of background in the fitness world to kind of bring a lot of experience to you. So hopefully you got something out of this. Thank you for watching today's video, this 12-week challenge special edition of GymTalk. If you haven't caught the first 2 episodes, you can catch them on our website on the challenge page or on our YouTube channel. Just search Mesa Fitness Colorado. Follow us on social. We're pretty much everywhere. And you can actually keep up with the challenge this year also on our website. Thanks again.